I became a Christian when I was a teenager, but I fell away for quite a while after getting out of the military. I was in the Airborne Infantry. I was with the 1st of the 509th Airborne Infantry out of Fort Polk, Louisiana, and jumped in with the 173rd to northern Iraq and seized the airfield at Kirkuk during the initial invasion. I'd lost my hearing. I was helping to feed rounds on a 240 Bravo machine gun, so I was assistant gunning on it, and I didn't have time to put in hearing protection, and just the concussion from we went through more than 4,000 rounds, and it really damaged my hearing in my right ear. And so after getting out of the military, even when I was in, which is part of the reason I got out, I had vertigo very, very badly. They told me that there was leaking in my inner ear, very slight, that was causing the vertigo, that it had been ruptured, something of that nature. And after the umpteenth hearing test, the best I could do on my pitches was between a 55 and a 75 in that ear. And most people score between a 0 and a 15. So my hearing was way off. People sounded like they talked with a lisp. So for 10 years, I just had to learn to live with it. As we've just come back to the Lord, my wife and I have just gone through a lot with my PTSD, things like that. I started going to the movement, and this is, mind you, this is a small portion of the story that has brought us back. I mean, we would come here and there, and I still believed. I just didn't want to expose myself. I learned to guard my heart and just learned to really put up walls. And so those walls were starting to be broken down, and we went to the movement, and Bob Clifford had a lady talking about how when she was a little girl, God had healed her hearing, that she had had Jesus heal her hearing. And I thought, man, this is a great story. But as we're sitting there at the movement, the back of my neck is swelling with my inner ear problem, and I'm just struggling. I can hardly sit still. I'm thinking, man, this is bad. It's one of the worst episodes I'd had, where the room was spinning. I was not doing well. And as she's sharing her testimony, at the end of her testimony, Bob gets up and says, I feel like there's a word from God, that I've gotten a word that says someone's hearing is going to be restored. And I had heard that before. I didn't know if there was any validity in it. I'd never had it be me. But as soon as he said that, the swelling went away, and I could hear the ladies to my right talking, rustling with their pieces of paper. And I thought, this is weird. Like, what just happened? And so we stand up, we're singing the last song. The instruments sound different, the words sounds different, people singing sound different, and I'm thinking to myself, something just happened. But I don't want to say, hey, this happened, if it didn't really happen. I'm thinking, did this really happen? Did this really happen? And it's just confirmation. Yes, you've been seeking me. You weren't listening to me before, and now that you're listening to me, now that you're seeking me, it's like he restored my hearing because I was wanting to listen to him. It's taken several months to readjust, to kind of relearn how to hear things. And, the miracle happened, and I didn't want to be negative about it, but the next night the neighbor dog's barking, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Or I ask my wife, what's that? And it's just normal everyday house sounds. I can hear the birds chirping normally again. Music sounds beautiful. People talking, they don't sound like they talk with a lisp. I'm not missing out on life anymore. And God is great. So